win.
That's been an
Credit where credit
all
is
right,
due.
they pushed all the chips in here. Top AFC threat?
I think there's tiers to this. Like I always say, there's levels to this. There's tiers to this.
Tell me.
I don't have them in. I think there's 4 teams in the AFC better right now. Okay, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. I got the Baltimore Ravens. I got the Buffalo Bills. I got the Denver Broncos. I'm gonna keep tooting my horn about the Denver Broncos. I think the Denver Broncos.
It's
I think
cool.
the Denver Broncos are here.
We keeping the tape.
Like the Denver. Yeah, please do.
We keep
Please
the
do.
tapes. Keep the tapes.
The Denver Broncos are here. I think the Denver Broncos arguably had the best defense in the league. Bo Nix, who came on it in the last year, going into his second year. Usually players, go make their biggest jump from year 1 to year 2. You got one of the best play callers, coaches in the National Football League, Sean Payton. He has weapons on offense, got one of the best offensive lines. Everything is set up, in my opinion, for Bo Nix to really introduce himself to the national public that we are here.
Can they win the AFC West?
They can. I don't think they will, but they can.
Let me say this, because this is a question that I want to throw this out to both of y'all real quick. I get where you're coming from. But when we're asking that question about the Cincinnati Bengals, because everybody can't, you don't have to play everybody. Like those 4 teams. So somebody going to run into somebody come to play all the time. You understand what I'm saying? Right. I mean, Cincinnati got to play all of them. Yeah. You understand? Somebody going to run into somebody. Can Cincinnati knock off somebody with that offense? Hell to the yes. Yes, they can. With that firepower, no. If your defense is middle of the road, if your defense is the 20th ranked defense in the league, you could possibly win 2 to 3 more games if you're the Cincinnati Bengals with that offense.
You might be asking a lot of that defense, okay? This is the same Cincinnati team that has a losing record last year when they scored 33 points.
I agree with that.
3 and 4. Think about that. How crazy that is.
Damn it, they would have been 0-7 if they didn't have it. If they didn't score that. You understand? The point is, you're talking about a team that can put up 30 in their sleep. Can't ignore that. Can't ignore that.
As bad as the defense was last year, really the culprit to the season, what robbed them of their playoff hopes, was the slow start.
Yeah.
They have gotten out to a slow start every single year. And you'll notice this year in the preseason, the regular guys playing. Joe Burrow didn't play in the preseason before. Jamar Chase didn't play in the preseason before. T. Higgins didn't play in the preseason. They're out there this summer because Zach Taylor, the head coach, obviously wants to try something different to get them ready to avoid the type of start that's derailed their season in recent years.
This might be breaking news here. Is that your way of saying, Adam Schefter, that you agree with moi when I've religiously stated that there should be an investigation into the coaching staff of the Cincinnati Bengals and what they're doing in the offseason and in preseason, because, damn it, they can't win games in the first 2 games of 2 weeks of the season 6 straight years. They are 1-11 in the first 12 games, meaning the first 2 games of the last 6 seasons. They are 1-11. Right. What are you doing that you can't win games first 2 weeks of the season with these kind of studs? I mean, I'm just asking.
Well, I'm going to say this, though. I'm going to say this. If you look at the Cincinnati Bengals over the past few years, I think a big part of that reason, the quarterback has been hurt in training camp. Yeah. Think about everything Joe Burrow's been dealing with in training camp. He had the calf situation. He had the appendix situation, the thumb injury. Like, all those things, like, you start off training camp, you have that going on, then it just leads right
last year.
Right, exactly. It just bleeds right into the regular season.
We got to leave it there, but they have Hendrickson, 57 sacks over the last 4 seasons, so positive news for the Bengals and turning around that defense. Coming up on First Take, the standoff between Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones continues. Adam Schefter with the very...
We kick off our HBCU tour Thursday live at Norfolk State University. Molly, your boy Stephen A., and the return of Superman, Cam Newton. We even have special guest Michael Vick in the house, who'll be making his head coaching debut. This will be must-see TV. Holla.
We can't wait for that. Our largest HBCU schedule to date begins Thursday. We kick it off at Norfolk State University ahead of Michael Vick's coaching debut. Can't wait to talk to him. Then we head to Birmingham, Alabama, the Magic City Classic. That's followed by a trip to Delaware State University, who is led by former NFL Pro Bowler Deshaun Jackson. And we end our travels at Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona, Florida. Always a good time, always surprise guests, and we can't wait to see you. Don't miss it. Dallas versus Philly, 9 days away, football fans. Yet the story remains Jerry Jones versus Micah Parsons being dissected daily from all angles. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott finally weighed in yesterday. Take a listen.
Wouldn't say so. As I alluded to it before, I mean, there's been a case of something similar to this the last 3 years, I believe. So if not before, I mean, I guess, right? Not necessarily. I think that's people can take it however they want. I think it's kind of part of the way guys think and see things around here. I've got confidence. I've told y'all that well way back when. And I'm just going off of experience, honestly. No different than mine. So I've got confidence in that. Just hoping, which I know he is, he's ready to play.
Stephen A., I know you're a really big fan of Dak Prescott's press conferences, so I was just curious of your opinion on his comments just now.
Well, I'm proud of him for finally saying something, because he usually says nothing. I'm one of those guys that's critical of Dak Prescott from the standpoint, all you got to do is listen to him from the time he's coming to the league. Play that, play an interview and then just re-air it every single year, because it's the same stuff. It's the same thing. He tells you absolutely nothing. He's worse than Mike T when it comes to that, who I call Mr. CIA, all right? I mean, it's unbelievable. But in this particular instance, I appreciate him acknowledging that it's something that's been ongoing. Yeah. Those questions, everybody knows I got a strong level of affection for Jerry Jones. We have a very good relationship. But I do not approve of what he has done with these contracts. And especially in the case of Micah Parsons, it's significantly worse. And the reason why I've said that, which I told Jerry Jones to his face, is that you are worth $16 billion. Your franchise is worth $12.8. You are renowned as an elite businessman and marketer. And you're acting like a conversation with a 25-year-old at the time, a football player for you. It's tantamount to a negotiation, knowing he has representation. That is wrong. Now, Jerry's position is that the man called me. He wanted to negotiate. We talked. We had a deal. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing I know, he picks up the phone and calls me to tell me, don't call him no more. Call my agent. I don't play that bleed. That's what he said. But Micah Parsons' team is saying, nah. Micah met with him because Jerry wanted to meet with him about leadership. And Jerry turned it into something. So what's he supposed to do? Just get up and walk out the room when the owner is there talking to you? He nodded his head, he talked or whatever and said, yeah, but I got my rep and I'm sure y'all will talk about it. So who do you believe? And that's what it really, really comes down to. In the end, I don't care how right Jerry think he is. And I love the man, but I don't care how right he thinks he is. In the end, you're not right if you're Jerry Jones for this one reason and one reason only. You were negotiating deals at least 3 decades before this kid was born. You know good and damn well he's not an agent. He's a player. You're clearly taking advantage. That's inescapable. And that's why I could see why Micah feels the way that he feels.
Well, 3 sides to every story, obviously. And that full interview, you sitting down with Jerry, is available on the Stephen A. Smith Show on YouTube.
Yeah, listen, I just want to. We've been talking about this Jerry-Micah saga now for a couple weeks. Both sides seem like they're very dug in. Obviously, Jerry, with the way he goes about doing business, is dug in on that aspect. And obviously, Micah, I would assume, like, there's no way I'm not taking top-of-the-line deal, point-blank period. I want to spin it forward because with Micah not participating in practice at all, what's his availability for week 1? We're literally 9 days away from the opening game of the season against the defending world champion, the Philadelphia Eagles. I think if this thing, even if Micah Parsons signs a deal right now, I think it would be irresponsible for the Dallas Cowboys to put him out there.
Interesting. Adam, obviously we talked earlier, Hendrickson gets done, McLaurin gets done. What's the latest here?
This is where you draw hope if you are the Dallas Cowboys and you are a Cowboys fan. Because McLaurin and the Commanders were nowhere close, and then they quickly bridged their differences. The Bengals and Trey Hendrickson were nowhere close, and they spent all day yesterday meeting and coming up with this creative one-year solution where he gets a raise this year. The Dallas Cowboys and Micah Parsons have not discussed a contract at all since Jerry and Micah were together. We're talking 3-4 months of zero contract discussions. Could it come together as quickly as McLaurin and Hendrickson? Yes. Could it be solved as quickly as McLaurin and Hendrickson? Yes. But Jerry sounds very dug in here. And Micah already has stated that he wants to be traded. He hasn't practiced. His back is tight. And these two sides today are nowhere. And it does sound like over time, they are headed their own ways. That doesn't mean that they can't figure out a solution, but neither one right now has been interested in doing that.
I'm hopeful that a solution can be reached. Here's what I said to Jerry, and I'll say it again, right here on national television. You're Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, in his own words, said, Stephen, if you look at where we are, we're not really that far apart. Well, if that's the case, then what's really holding this up is Jerry's pride, because Micah said to him, don't talk to me, talk to my agent. Now, at some point in time, everybody in Dallas.
Disrespectful. I don't understand.
Exactly.
That.
No, what I'm saying is it makes, at some point, you got to look at Jerry and say, does this really make sense? Because again, if you're not that far apart, what's the holdup? Now, Jerry will tell you, as he said, Dak and I couldn't reach an agreement the first year. Dak played. Dak and I couldn't reach agreement the second year. Dak played. And then ultimately, he got his bag. Well, what Jerry is saying is, get your behind out there on the field. That's his position. My position would be, but you said y'all are close. What's wrong? It's almost like the principle of having to talk to his representation is something you find off-putting, if not offensive. And I'm saying that Jerry Jones, Mr. $16 billion man, #1 sports franchise. Come on now. Come on, Jerry. You got to do better than that. And I'm not saying anything that I didn't tell him.
You know why this is so frustrating for me? Just looking at it as observed from the outside looking in.
Because it should be simple.
It should be simple. We are talking about a 26-year-old premier pass rusher in his prime in the National Football League. This is not scary Terry McLaurin, who's on the other side of 30. This is not Trey Henderson, who's on the other side of 30. We're talking about one of the best players in the National Football League. All you literally have to do, okay, what did TJ White get? Okay, here we go. You make, I don't care if it's $1 more than